The OTT is brought to you by GoToMeeting. Go over to GoToMeeting.com. Click the Try It Free Now button and enter in your code PODCAST. It's for your Mac, it's for your PC, it's for your iPad, and it's a great way to meet with people across the nation at a moment's notice. Just go over to GoToMeeting.com, go over to the Try It Free Now button, and remember to enter in that code PODCAST for a 30-day free trial. All right, Jeffrey Powers here. Welcome to another episode of the OTT, where we talk over-the-top television content producers, and we've got a great content producer right here in the names of Steve Garfield. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing very well. OTT.
OTT, yeah, you know me. Yeah.
That's great.
Oh wait, that probably should strike that part.
Music's playing now in the background, right? You cut in later.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. It's the OTT. Wait, what? No, that's my musical Tourette syndrome. I'm sorry. So anyway, Steve Garfield, why don't you tell everybody who you are? So for those of you who just don't know, he's an acclaimed author and everything like that.
Hey guys, this is Steve Garfield from stevegarfield.com. That's my intro. And I put video on the web. I was probably the first video blogger. January 1st, 2004, I put video on a blog. That was like a year and a half before YouTube. And I was just figuring it out. Like, I did it as a New Year's resolution, as a kind of a technical thing to try and figure out, well, I thought blogging has been so awesome to give people the power to just open up a page, type some stuff, and have it be on the web. And I'd been experimenting with video and putting it on the web by hand in these certain ways, and I said, why hasn't anybody put video in a blog? That would make it like so easy. Yeah. So I made up Steve Garfield's video blog, and I went to the Apple website and figured out the HTML and how to do it, and I embedded a link to a video on my hosted site and like all this stuff. And then I started blogging about what I was learning of how to put video online. As I learned, I blogged and learned and blogged and learned, and then a little community formed. And then we met and had some conferences, and then Wiley approached me and said, hey, you want to write a book about everything you've learned over the past like 6 years of how to put video online? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll write a book, I'll try that. So the book is Get Seen, and it teaches people basically how to put video online. Keeps it real simple, like what camera do you have on you? How do you put it online? How do you do an interview? How do you do live streaming? And then it has some really cool interviews with people who I just met here. Chris Perillo, he's in the book. Great interview with him. How does he do it? He live streams, and then he takes clips of his live stream and he puts them on YouTube for evergreen content, like these topics that he talks about in the live stream. He grabs them and puts them on YouTube. So he's just a content producing machine, doing a really good job at it.
You said the right word, evergreen. Now that brings me to my next question. That's your first video broadcast. What was it about?
My first video broadcast?
Your first blog. What was the blog about? Do you remember?
The first video blog post, it was January 1st, 2004, and I get on the camera and I say, 2004, the year of the video blog. That was it. So I was a little early. But
it works, and the most amazing thing is how it's cultivated since then, to the point where other people have been doing it, and we have you to thank for that. So thank you very, very much.
You're very welcome.
What do you think of the new avenues for video and all these content producers that are coming out?
Like what, for example?
Well, like Revision 3, like Twit, like Chris and stuff like that. How is the space changing? Yeah,
that's an awesome question. So when we first started video blogging, all we were doing was capturing moments and sharing them online. And I was just sharing what my wife and I were doing on the weekend, and other people who were experimenting were doing the same. And we were watching all of each other's videos because there was only like 10 of us doing this, right? Yeah. And we would subscribe to each other's blogs and go watch what everybody else was posting. So they weren't shows or series is the point. It was just these moments. Here we are in the garden. Here we're gardening. We're driving, doing all this stuff. And we got to know each other from these moments. And when we met, we were like, whoa, I feel like I know you. And we were like, this video stuff's powerful in that it gives you that knowledge of like really knowing a person. I think we've come full circle now, businesses are starting to appreciate the power of video by, getting online and saying, hey, here am I, here are the people who work here, here's some of our stuff we make, or let me show you around the factory. So people who are watching these videos in a real and authentic way, we've come back to that, get to feel like they know the people, not doing TV commercials. So that's where I think videos come. And then you mentioned the networks. Now, there's another side of video production, which is more like a web series, where people want to produce a thing that's like a TV show, and it's regularly scheduled, and they have like maybe higher production values, and they tell a story and they package it into a thing. Yeah. So networks like Revision 3 and Twit and Blip.tv, which is where I host my videos, they're there to help you market your video and get it seen out there. Like, when you open up a magazine or you're watching TV and stuff, they're always advertising, watch this TV show, watch this movie, it's all marketing. Marketing is like such a huge percent of the cost of producing shows. Yeah. And in the video blogging space or the video series producer space, for a long time everybody's focused on making it and getting it made and maybe putting it on a blog, but that whole next step of getting people to know it's out and marketing it, yeah. I think that's where we are now, and people are realizing that they need to do that, and the hosting providers like Blip just came out with a whole new platform of Blip.tv. Now it's a destination site, yeah. So you can go there and discover these series. So we're at that now, and the other thing that's really cool is where you can see it is like on TV and through Hulu and all these different ways that you can watch the videos on devices other than sitting at your computer. Exactly. That's helping all these series and shows be seen like on a level playing field with TV shows. So that's all going on right now. It's very exciting right now, that stuff.
What's your favorite content providing unit or set-top box?
Good question. So, I was in the Panasonic Blogger program. Okay. So I have a Panasonic TV that has some internet stuff. Like I can get Netflix and YouTube on it, but I don't really use it for that. I actually have a TiVo like in front. So I use the TiVo, and I get content, I would say, through Netflix on the TV, okay. Mainly. But for web video and stuff, I actually use my MacBook Pro because I just got this big monitor for it. And I was used to watching videos small. Yeah. And now that I got this big monitor, and some of these things are really HD quality, when you pop it open, you're like, wow. Very crisp, I can sit there and watch something for like 20, 30 minutes. Oh, actually, I could even watch Netflix on my computer. I bet you people already know that, but to me, I don't do it that much. But when I do, I'm like, whoa, I can watch like a whole movie on here, and it's really good quality. So a lot of the web video is through the laptop, and there's this new site called VHX.tv, and it's a video discovery site. Okay. VHX.tv, and you go there and you can see what people are sharing, and then you can become friends and follow certain people so that you can look at what people are watching, and then they have a browser plugin thing so that when I'm watching something on the web, video anywhere, like on YouTube, I can go add to my VHX, and it goes there. So people who are following me can see things that I think are interesting. I think that's kind of cool. So would that be your hidden gem? Oh, that's a hidden gem, yeah. That just came out. And it's cool because I've always wanted, from a really long time, a cool way to tell people what I like. Like, I want my friends to know videos that I like, sharing that. And I can tweet it out, and I can throw it up on Facebook, or I'll put it on my blog. But this is kind of a it's kind of a lean back way where I can just say play, and it just kind of goes through and plays videos. So if you want to, it's like, you know what it's like? It's like if you go on TV and just sit with the clicker and you go click, click, and see what's on. Hate it, watched it, hate it, love it. Oh, MASH episodes. Oh, got to stick on that one. So. It's exactly like that with this thing. And so you're like watching something, and if you like it, you can watch it. If not, you go next, and next, just like that. So it's kind of a, what would you call that? Like a like sit back, like watching TV.
Like a remote. Does it remember your position or something like that? Does it go through the commercial? That's the one thing that I've noticed with over-the-top television is you can't, when the commercial comes on, you just can't flip to the next channel and see what else is going on, or else you lose your place. You got to start from the beginning again.
Stay, right?
Yeah.
Wait like 15 seconds before you can, get rid of it.
Exactly. So,
Yeah. Well, if I'm on the laptop or something and that comes up, I'll pop up email and like wait for that to go and just like do something and do something else, and then when that's done, flip back over.
even with a commercial, but you still have to sit through the commercial, whether you're on your phone or looking up email or something like that. So,
and so some of these commercials are cool. Actually, it seems like they're getting better at the targeting, or just maybe because we're on the web, the things that they're showing us are more geared towards our interests versus on TV, where they're just like saying, hey, it's Pringles, buy these things. I've seen ads that I like maybe on online.
oh yeah, there's a lot of creative ads. There's a lot of what was it? One of the mainstream chip companies actually did an online make our next commercial, you win like $10,000 or something like that, and it was on, I'm trying to remember as I'm talking what it was on, but I remember seeing that and I was really impressed because they were getting the community, the people with cameras like this, involved to create something that they would end up using as a national commercial.
Yeah, there was the one, the Super Bowl one where the dog broke down the door for the Doritos or something.
Okay, so it was
that,
Doritos, okay.
There was that one, which some guy made, which was really, really funny and great. I like that.
Plus, you have all the commercials that that weren't really commercials to begin with. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, the holiday lights thing that was on YouTube ended up being a Budweiser commercial. I know a couple other.
That was a Budweiser commercial?
Yeah, and that was actually on the Super Bowl as well. Was it a Bud or was it a Miller? I don't know.
Actually,
it was a beer commercial.
I think maybe I thought some tech guy made his Christmas lights go to music, and then the brand approached them to incorporate it in the TV commercial.
Yeah, that's. Did I say it the other way?
You said it was actually a Budweiser commercial.
Oh
so
no, it
turned
turned it into a Budweiser.
Yeah, right.
So
I knew what that was.
But that's the coolest thing is just the fact, okay, here's I could be regular Joe, we could be doing something, all of a sudden I'd slip on a banana peel, I don't know where a banana peel would come from.
Yeah, they're never around.
And then next thing you know, Chiquita Bananas is doing a commercial with that, and it's like...
Well, now that could happen, and so carry a camera around with you. When that moment happens, you're like, oh, I have a camera, boom, I'm going to record that and then share it, so then that can happen now.
What's your favorite? We already talked about your. What's your favorite show in the news space out there?
In which space?
The media space on your set-top box. What show do you normally flip to first?
Well, I'm watching The Good Wife. Did you watch that?
No, not really. I kind of meant on the news space. Okay, okay.
But that show, if you guys aren't watching The Good Wife, that's a good show. And so I TiVo'd it, and my wife and I had on there like 46 episodes TiVo'd. We hadn't ever watched it.
Really?
So then we just started watching it, and it's 46, 45, 44, 43, and like we're getting it down, and it's addictive. I like it. So.
I don't watch anything like that, series, like when I go into Netflix and you look at the TV series, like I just started watching Sports Night again. It's kind of like crack. I got to watch the next one. It's like, oh, it's over. It's like 3 in the morning. I got to watch the next episode.
Yeah, next. So I do a live TV show every week, and it's called stevegarfield.tv, and it's every Thursday at 2. Everybody can tune in. It's all about online video and social media, and a lot of times I interview people who are doing this stuff to find out, how they're doing their show, how do they produce it. I want to know like what kind of tools they use and how they're using social media to promote, their show. So there's this one from last week I just interviewed. The woman's name is Hyla Johnson, and she does this thing called Hyla Cooking. It's HILAH Cooking, and I found it on Blip TV's new Discovery site. I was just like looking through, and this woman popped up, and she's like a comedian. She's hilarious, and she's showing you how to cook.
Really?
Really well done show. It's just so authentic, and she's in there showing you how to make potato pancakes and all these things, and she's also a good cook, and she's funny, and I really liked it. So I like that show. The way I got her on the show was I tweeted out, and I said, hey, you want to be on my show next week, 15 minutes? She said, yeah. So through social media, I got her on, had her on the show. She came on, and we showed clips. Boom. So it was like full circle, promoting her on Twitter, finding her on Blip. And actually, I also had Dina Kaplan from Blip on just before her to talk about their new site, and then I had her on as a producer that I found through Blip. So that's what I like. The other show I also had on Hayden Black. I don't know if you know him. He does a series called Good Night Burbank.
He's also, was he on TV, regular TV?
Nope, not on regular TV, but
sounds familiar.
He was taking an improv class, and he just decided to make a series. Okay. And then now it's on Hulu, and it's called Good Night Burbank, and it's behind the scenes of a TV show. So what they do is they show a little bit of the news show, and then they break to commercial, and their whole episodic comedy is about what happens behind the scenes. Okay. So that one's getting a lot of press, and it's getting very, very popular. He's pretty smart at distribution and what he's doing and how he's making money. So he's got that on Hulu, and he's in a good spot with that.
That does bring in another good question. What's your favorite source of ad revenue? What works for you the best?
Yeah, so there's many different ways to make money with these web videos. Since we're talking about Blip, Dina just said last year that the top Blip TV video producer got over $500,000. She wrote the check, and she said that person is on the way to make $1 million this year.
She shouldn't talk about me like that. Wait, what? No. No, thanks. I wish.
So I'm like, well, how does that happen? But you put your show on Blip, and you can participate in their advertising program, which puts in pre-rolls and all this advertising, and they share it with you 50-50. So that's a cool way of making money. I don't really do that because my whole place on the web with video is to teach and be impartial, and so I pretty much, for a long time, I never took any advertising. Now I have a few ads on my site just to get back the money for hosting and stuff. But the way I make the money on my video production is people have me come out and speak, or I go and advise companies on how to do their videos. So it's my consulting and speaking business that. I use video to raise my profile as the guy who knows what he's talking about making videos. So I continue to do videos and show what I'm learning, just like I did, 11 years ago. I keep doing it, keep teaching, and those videos just lead to people to get to know me. So that's my thing. And
that's the important thing, coming to things like this, meeting people like you, talking with people, and learning a little bit more to improve a show. I mean, if it wasn't for coming out here myself, I wouldn't have the camera rig that I have right now. I wouldn't have the people that I know right now in my stable to ask questions and get on the camera to do interviews with.
Yeah, the show stevegarfield.tv, so that's the thing that is going to generate revenue for me, where I have sponsors, and the network it's on is called The Pulse Network, and there's live shows every day from 9 to 4 and throughout the whole day, and the sponsors come in, and then I split that revenue with the network. So that's like my focus right now is getting sponsors for that show. And then I also have some corporate clients that have these quarterly things that I help them on, so I know that's coming in every quarter. I've got the TV show, then I do some consulting or production gigs, and all combined, that's what it's all about.
Well, where do people to get you so you can get to these corporate gigs, well, and I get my 10% cut? And no, I'm just kidding.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, it's okay. Where do people go to get it?
People can find me at stevegarfield.com. That's the main place, and if they want to tweet at me, it's at Steve Garfield.
At Steve Garfield. I before E, except after C, right?
Garfield, yeah, right.
Okay. Well, Steve.
That's a cool rhyme.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for your time, Steve.
All right, thanks a lot.
For the OTT, this is all what it's all about. Get Oh, I forgot to ask you one.
Oh, wait, hold off on rolling the music.
Hold off. One quick question.
What?
Have you cut your cord yet?
Oh, that's a very good question. I cut my home phone cord. Did you know about that?
No. You physically cut your home phone?
So this is a great ending to the show. So I've had my home phone. My mom calls, and my wife's one of her old friends calls, and maybe someone else calls. But we've had the number for a really long time.
Yeah.
The phone died, and I called the phone company, and they couldn't diagnose. They said it wasn't a line problem going into the house. It was something inside the house. But we didn't do anything inside the house, so it wasn't a problem inside the house, so I don't know where the problem is. It costs money for them to come. So I was like, do I need to keep my home phone line? I know a lot of people have already cut that cord a long time ago. I says, no, I'm getting rid of it. I want to move it over to Google Voice. So, because a lot of businesses have that home phone number. What's your home phone number? And I've given it out everywhere, so I kind of want to keep the number. So I go over to Google Voice, and you can't transfer your home phone number to Google Voice. But I figured out how.
How?
Interesting, right?
Yeah, I'm very interested now.
So excited about this. So you go find out that Google Voice will allow you to transfer a cell phone number to Google Voice. Okay. So what you need to do is do an intermediate step of taking your home phone number and putting it on a cell phone, prepaid plan. So then your home phone is now your cell phone.
Oh, okay. And you have that for what, a month or something like that?
You just buy a 30-day thing, right? Okay. Program, and then you go to Google Voice and you say, I want to transfer my cell phone to Google Voice, and it works. And I did it. And if you go to Google Voice, I'm like the top result for that. But it's transfer Verizon landline to Google Voice.
Okay.
I have the whole step by, it's like all the steps exactly how to do it. And the only thing you need is at the one point when Google Voice wants to verify your cell phone, you need to take that SIM card you bought and be able to stick it in a phone that works, like some jailbroken or a broken phone, whatever you call it. So I had a bunch of phones in the house, and I tried one, didn't work. Finally, I had this Nokia, worked, validated it. So I mean, even if you had a friend who could just loan you their phone for that one phone call, and then it completes the process.
And then, or you couldn't you get some track phone or something like that?
Well, it would depend on what Google Voice allows to transfer over.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So, in the meantime, have you cut your regular cord?
No, and I actually really like Comcast cable and everything I get with it. I mean, the on-demand, Mad Men. I mean, what am I going to do if I can't get Mad Men?
iTunes.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, so I'm going to be, you buy each episode?
20, wait, $25 if it's standard edition, $35 if you want high definition. I've been doing it for the last 2 years, and when the next season comes out, if the next season comes out, yeah, I'm getting that.
What do you get for $25?
You get the whole season.
You buy a season pass?
Yeah.
And when does it come down?
It comes down like hours within the show.
Broadcast?
Yeah.
Oh, see, no one explained that to me before. Okay, so I said Mad Men was my thing. What else is holding me to cable? Actually, I could put an antenna on, right, to get local broadcast.
Actually, you know, the funny thing is in my local market, we have 14 channels, and a 15th channel is coming on because now with digital cable, they can do up to 3 channels. So, like for instance, our local NBC affiliate has their NBC show, and then they have NBC Weather, and where you can just watch this weather channel. We have 2 channels. One channel is rock and roll, rock and roll for all the kids, rock and roll. Another channel is country. So I got 14 channels of different stuff. There's still nothing on, but I got 14 channels of it.
So what device is your device?
Just a regular. Oh, that's just my TV.
Did you get the web on there?
No web. It was pre-web.
What's beeping? It's not you?
Not me.
Okay.
I don't think it's me. Anyway.
All right. Well, then on that note.
Right. Well, okay. SteveGarfield.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
perfect.
The perfect place to go.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks a lot, Steve.
Thank you.
For the OTT, this is Jeffrey Powers, this is Steve Garfield, and of course, check out everything over on the OTT. We'll be doing this every single week through Skype, through whatever. And if you want to be on the OTT, all you have to do is email me at geekazine@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.